Hello fellow Captain, this is Captain Collins. Welcome to another episode on this channel. And we're starting with something completely new, which is Satisfactory. We will do some tips and tricks for Satisfactory while we're progressing through the game. This means that I'm just started with this game and it is completely new for me. It's out on Steam since a month and that's why I took the chance to just grab it and try it out. For this time we will talk about all the basic stuff that you can do or should do when you start the game, when you're absolutely new to the game and you just want to see what you can do at the first few hours. I will not give you any tips and tricks about whatever happens in 100 hours into the game, but I will give you my experience that we had on stream so that you can benefit from that. Before we start, a quick introduction to myself. I'm Captain Collins. I'm a Twitch streamer and YouTube content creator. I stream from Monday to Thursday, 7 p.m. Central European time at twitch.tv/CaptainCollins. And if you like all this space-related content we do, as Satisfactory is also very space-related, then don't forget to hit the subscribe button. That way you can help the channel a lot. Thank you very much. So let's jump right into my save game. So welcome to my small base here where I just started. This is 3 hours in the game. I just had a save game right there where I wanted to show you how a basic base can look like at the start with just ore and some copper. So everything at this base is all around the hub here in the middle. This is the first building you start with. This is the building where you get all your quests from. Quests are called milestones in here, and we will have a look into that. And by the way, I'm standing on some storage containers because I were not able to build anything else from at the moment than just storage containers. But as the game progresses, you have to figure out how to help yourself the best way possible. And that's basically what we just do all the time. So let me give you another view of the hub. This is the hub from top down. This is where we stand on before. So we just have no watchtower at the moment, so I have to do a little workaround. You can select milestones in this hub and you always want to have milestones selected. That way you can see what your next step is to upgrade the hub and get better and get more stuff. So we start with the hub upgrade 1, which is all tier 0. So you want to go further in here and always select a milestone. Let me give you an example at tier 2, but for example, taking this one and I select the milestone, I can see on the top right corner what parts I need to assemble this milestone. And that way, whenever I go around, I can always see, okay, what's the next that I need and how much of it. Also, if I have already some stuff, I can definitely turn that in already. And it will show me at the top right corner that there is already something in there. On the other side, you have your crafting bench. The crafting bench is the most important tool at the start. You can build a lot of stuff in here by hand, just pressing down the button. It's not like just one click it, you have to press down the button so that it will be produced. Next big tip, if you're just starting out and you don't know what parts to get for this recipe you want to build, then you can always go in here and right click something and add to the to-do list. That way it will show you what you need to build one of these things, and you will always have that on your HUD so that you can always remember what to do next. This is very important so that you don't get lost in all of the opportunities in this game. One of the first buildings you will acquire is this one in here. This is the workshop, and inside of the workshop you can build useful stuff that you can take around with you, and that's the same part in here. Like right click something, add to the to-do list, and then you can see whatever you need for this to be produced. You can also just right click it and remove it from the to-do list whenever you want. But this is just one way to equip something to the to-do list. Also, the next big thing is when you press Q as your shortcut for your building menu and you want to build whatever building in here, you see this plus in here. That means that you can add this to your to-do list, and you can also set an amount of it, and you get the to-do list at the right side, and you always will keep track on what to get next. Like for example, for 4 miners you need 4 portable miners, and portable miners are a good way to start something off. If you have these mineral sources in here and you start getting these minerals, you first have to get the initial thing on top. And when this is gone, you can just put some miners onto this thing here just by putting it down with your left mouse button. And that way they start to mine. After you're done with the portable miners, you will definitely upgrade into automatic miners. To give you a heads up, selecting a miner, where is it? Production miner, and it will snap on to your resource and you can rotate it with your mouse wheel in which direction you need it. By the way, and I had this a lot, if you can't build something, you think that, man, I really want to build something, but why does it not build? Like, it's the perfect place. It can't be built. Like, what is going on here? There is this sign which warns you can't afford. That means there's something missing. And man, why can't I build this? I think that I have everything. Like, this is aligned and everything's fine. No rocks. Well, yeah, you can't afford it. You just don't have the resources with you. So go back to your base, grab the resources and do it again. But when you misplace something, you can always take out your tool with F and dismantle all you want to do just by selecting it. You can also hold left control and select all of it and then get rid of all this stuff. You will get all the resources back which you put into this, so you will not lose anything. So whenever you misplace something, you will not lose anything. Just deconstruct it, put it back onto the place you wanted to put it, and you're good to go. I know at the start it's tempting to just go into your hub, build everything at the workbench, at the crafting bench here, just because it's convenient. A tip from a lot of YouTubers and a lot of Twitch streamers is start automating your stuff as soon as you can. So by placing some miners, you will get rid of the miners you need to harvest yourself. You can put down these conveyor belts and put it into a smelter. This smelter will produce some ingots and so on and so on. One tip that I can give you, which is really, really good, whenever you have one step between there, at least at the start, always build a storage container between it so that maybe when the production can't keep up, you will always have the storage container that will just give you some sort of backup. So for example, the miners can always put in stuff into the storage container. So when your smelter is back online, it can grab everything what's inside of the storage container. And one big thing that I did wrong at the start is with this storage container. This is putting two different parts into one storage container. It seems convenient at the start, but whenever you start putting out stuff here, you cannot really get one single sort of stuff out there. You will need to build a storage container for every single where. Whenever it's a resource, whenever it's something you crafted, whenever it's something you need for later on. You will need to have a storage container for every single individual piece of parts. Something that's very useful at the start when you build something and you have an input and an output, for example the smelter, you always see there is the output, the input. Whenever you want to align something directly to this output with an input, hold down the left control key instead of just wibbling around. It will snap to this output so that this is a straight line into your input. This is very useful later on while you're building foundations and you have everything at one level, and that way your factory really looks very clean and everything is running like in straight lines. And if you prefer this, do it. If you're kind of chaotic, then just forget about this and build it as you like, because that's the beauty of this game. You can also assemble like whatever you want, however you want. It doesn't matter. As long as there is a fitting into this, it doesn't matter. And this is also a thing at the start with your first base. Like for example this one, it's just the start. Just put stuff there wherever you want. You can always deconstruct it, you can always place it somewhere else, but just get things running as soon as possible. That way, if you do a lot of things automatically, you will have time to look at the flora and fauna of this planet and maybe get to know this guy or get some hostile guys known, because as long as there is something running around, you always need to be aware that it can be hostile. Rule of thumb is the more cute it looks like, the more likely it is to be not hostile. So whenever you get a Spidey looking thingy, or you get something that looks really weird, or maybe throws some fire at you, yeah, these guys are hostile. So yeah, when you started to build your base and you get the grip of it, always keep your power biomass burners equipped with some stuff, whatever, just get something in there, like for example leaves, and there will be more advanced methods of powering your base later on. But at the start, keep an eye on these power modules so that everything is powered, and you can see this by these green lights. Whenever you see some red lights appearing, that means that you miss power and there is something you want to do. After a short time, you will get this module in here. This thing is called a MAM, which just means a molecular analysis machine. And this is basically your research station, but we will not cover this in this video. We'll cover this in the next video. So, thank you very much for watching. My name is Captain Collins. We will definitely get some more stuff for Satisfactory, so keep an eye out on this channel and have a good time. See you soon on Twitch TV. Bye.